Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. I want you to stop and think about how lucky some people can actually be. The people that I'm referring to are both Michael and Barack Hussein Obama. Well, we don't know very much about Michael's past. Actually, we know very little about either one of their pasts. But what we do know is rather startling. We don't know where Michael came from. There's speculation that he was a foreign exchange student that got in under affirmative action. That's probably how Michael got into university as well, affirmative action. We know that they both supposedly studied, and became attorneys. And we know that they both lost their law licenses. We don't know why. There's a certain amount of speculation. There's speculation that Obama lied. He used more than one name. And Michael apparently was involved in some kind of real estate scam. But in either case, they both lost their law licenses. So they're not legally attorneys. We also can't find any proof that either one of these two girls, Malia and Sasha, are genetically connected to either one of these two freaks. There's no proof that Michael was ever pregnant, because men can't get impregnated. We know that Barack Hussein Obama became a senator by somehow having the divorce documents of two of the folks that were running against him, that were way ahead of him, until those divorce documents that were sealed by the courts were released. Talk about being lucky, huh? We know that Barack Hussein Obama doesn't have a valid Social Security card. His card was given to him out of Connecticut, and he was never in Connecticut at that time. And when you pass, your number passes with you. It doesn't get reinstated. The number that Obama has belonged to someone that was born in the late 1800s and died in, I think, the 1975-76 time period. So we know that he doesn't have a valid Social Security card. We know that he doesn't have a valid military registration card. They all have 4 digits for the date. Obama's only has 2. And the reason that it has 2 is they couldn't find the 1980. So they found a 2008. They cut off the 2 and the 0. They reversed it. So the little circle on the number 8 is at the bottom, and the largest circle is at the top, which is sort of a dead giveaway. So we know that that military registration card was a forgery. We know that his birth certificate that's posted on the official White House website is also a forgery. There's all kinds of unexplained anomalies that are in that document, like his father being African when the word that was used was Negro. The font varies, and some of the font didn't exist back in that time. The document was created in layers. So we know that, again, the document itself was an absolute forgery. So when you add up all the pieces of the puzzle, you have to ask yourself a question. How the hell did he become president, shacked up with that transsexual for the last almost 8 years? What has he done? Well, he's doubled the debt. He's spent more money than any other president combined in history. We know that he's pretty much emptied Guantanamo. He's returned well over 150, out of which 30-40% returned to the battlefield. We know that they've killed Americans. They wouldn't have died if Obama would have left them where they were. We know that he didn't add any prisoners to Guantanamo. We know that he traded 5 of the worst terrorists in Guantanamo for a traitor who's supposedly in the process of being prosecuted for his crimes, Bowie Bergdahl, Sergeant Bowie Bergdahl. We know that he's put together Obamacare, which was never designed to work. The amount of money that he spent on that software that still doesn't work, and to implement the exchanges, if Obama gave $2 million to every American, they still would have saved a fortune. So when you add up all the pieces of the puzzle, you have a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. We know that he's funded, equipped, trained the enemies of America. We know that he's committed countless acts of treason. The judge Andrew Neapolitano, made it very clear that what Obama has done as far as Guantanamo itself, by returning prisoners, he's aiding and abetting the enemy of America. That alone would be equivalent to a life sentence. But the problem is, who are you going to go to? We know he's taken every key cabinet position and put desert rats in them. The Attorney General, I think, is a Muslim, Loretta Lynch. Jay Johnson admitted himself that he's a Muslim. We know that Obama is a Muslim because he's told us countless times, yet there's millions of Americans that are clueless. It's actually mind-boggling. We know that there is no First Lady, but they keep pretending that there's a First Lady, which is absolutely sickening. So, when you look at the whole package, you have to ask yourself a question. What the F is wrong with our country for allowing this to happen to us? There's nothing about them that's real, other than the devastation that they've caused to this country. Hillary Rotten Clinton and Obama set the Middle East on fire with the Arab Spring. They both went ahead and got rid of Gaddafi, which is now, Libya is the focal point, one of the focal points for ISIS. ISIS would never have formed if it wasn't for Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rotten Clinton. The humanitarian crisis that the world is experiencing wouldn't be experiencing if it wasn't for what Obama and Hillary Rotten Clinton have done to the Middle East. You have to ask yourself a question. Like I said, what the F is wrong with the American people for allowing this to happen? Ask yourself, is this the kind of country you want to leave for your children? You let it happen. I let it happen. And I'm doing the best I can to correct the problem. What are you doing?